Welcome everybody to Week 18, the final week of the regular season here in year one of the Philadelphia Eagles franchise here on Madden 22. The path to the playoffs for the Eagles is very simple. With a win, the Eagles are in. With a loss, the Eagles are out. It really does not get that much more simple. However, the same goes for the Eagles' opponent, the Dallas Cowboys, as both teams are currently 8-8 on the season. If the season ended today, the Eagles would finish as the 7th seed in the NFC. And of course, the Birds are in a tight NFC East race. If Washington wins, they will likely win the division as they do have the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Eagles. So the Eagles would need to win and have Washington lose in order to win the division. But as long as the Birds win this game, they'll be in the playoffs no matter what. So here at the press conference, normally I would be humble, but it's the Cowboys. F the Cowboys. We're going to be cocky and try to underplay them. So Dallas, who has won 5 in a row, might I mention, is going to get a big boost. But we're going to get a big boost as well for this rivalry game. And clearly our players recognized how important this matchup is. I want to focus on stopping the pass game because our run defense has been really good this year and our pass defense, not so much. I want to focus on throwing the ball offensively because if somebody's going to win this game and take the Eagles to the playoffs, it's going to be the young quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Easily the most important game yet of this series. Here in Season 1, I was not expecting the Eagles to be playing for the playoffs here in the final week of the season, but with Philadelphia exceeding expectations, along with being in a weak NFC East division, here we are, Cowboys and Eagles for a spot in the playoffs. Winner is in, loser is out. Again, it's not really much more simple than that. Jake Elliott has this ball teed off, and the first Week 18 in NFL history is underway as a part of the 17-game schedule, as that one will be returned to the 20 as we take a look at the Dallas Cowboys offense, led by quarterback Dak Prescott, who's had a solid season this year. He's thrown for 16 interceptions, but he also has 38 passing touchdowns. The Eagles beat Dallas all the way back in Week 3 on Monday Night Football and will attempt to get the clean sweep of the boys. As on 2nd and inches, Dak Prescott with wide open rushing room. That's a start. He gained 31 yards on the ground. Now Dak is not known as a runner, but he's got some wheels. 3rd and 5 now at around the 34-yard line for Dallas. Prescott looking to throw it under a little bit of pressure. Chased after by Hargrave, who gets the sack. Javon Hargrave did not play a week ago against the Washington football team, and the Eagles definitely missed not having him or the currently injured Fletcher Cox up the middle at defensive tackle. So here is Philadelphia's offense, led by second-year quarterback Jalen Hurts, who has not been perfect this year, but he has shown a ton of flashes and a ton of reason to like him going forward as the face of this football team. 3rd and inches, Hurts looking to throw it. He goes short for a wide-open Hakeem Butler, the backup tight end, who, all things considered, has been pretty solid this year. He gets it to the 45-yard line for a nice gain of 16. Handoff for Miles Sanders on first down. He jukes out Malik Hooker and gets about 11. It's been a very weird season for Miles Sanders. He's had a lot of good moments, but he's also had quite a few bad moments. 3rd and 5, Hurts under a lot of pressure, and he makes the smart decision by throwing it away, but the Eagles are still going to move back as it's going to be an intentional grounding against Jalen Hurts, so both teams bring it past the 50 on their opening possessions, but neither team is able to score. Dallas has it back, 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter, 3rd down and 3. Prescott with a nice throw for Amari Cooper, who runs by Avonte Maddox. Cooper breaks a tackle inside the 40. A big gain for Amari Cooper, who's now over 1,000 yards on the season. And Dallas gets another first down. Maybe this will be the drive that they can get on the scoreboard. 3rd and 4 now from the 30 for Dallas. Dak going to look to throw it, but he has no time in the pocket at all. Kayvon Wallace gets to the quarterback. And Dallas has a tough decision on their hands for what they're going to do here on 4th down. They're going to send the field goal unit out as it's a 55-yard attempt for Greg the Leg Zerline, and the kick will doink off the crossbar. No good. Dallas will miss the kick, and this game will remain tied at 0. This is now the 4th drive of the game. All 4 drives have gotten past the 50. So far, there are no points, however. Maybe the Eagles will change it here as Jalen Hurts will run for the first down, getting it to the 36-yard line. 3rd down and 4 now at the 31. Hurts going to look to throw it, scrambling to the right side. He's going to try to get away from the pressure, and he does not get the first down. Big hit by the rookie Micah Parsons. So that'll lead to a 4th and 1 at the 27, and that will conclude the first quarter. A lot of defense so far as we are tied at 0. We've seen some good drives, but neither team has been able to score yet. 44-yard field goal attempt here for Jake Elliott to open up the second quarter, and it's a fake! Flacco throws it to Hakeem Butler, who does not get anything. So Coach Champ Britton decided to be gutsy by faking the field goal, and it did not work. So all 4 drives today have gotten past midfield, but we are still tied at 0, somehow, some way. Dallas has it back. It's the tight end Blake Jarwin who runs right by a defender. Ramped up again past midfield, this time by Josh Sweat. So again, Dallas has it past the 50, but can they score? On 3rd and 2, it's going to be a short pass back to the tight end Jarwin, who gets a nice first down, eventually wrapped up by Eric Wilson. Solid play nonetheless for Dallas, and the way they're moving it down the field, it looks like this might be the drive that they finally get on the scoreboard. Cooper in motion here on 2nd and 10. Dak has no time to throw it. He's sacked. Eric Wilson brings down the QB. That is now 3 sacks here in the first half for Philadelphia. And that'll make it a 3rd down and long for Dallas. Again, they're right in that no man's land. If you kick a field goal, do you punt it? And Dallas is going to have to make that tough decision as Dak's pass is incomplete. So this time the punting unit is out. The Cowboys are going to learn from their mistakes, and Chris Jones will belt this one perfectly, right on the money, down out of bounds at the 2-yard line. What a punt by Chris Jones, and now the Eagles are starting backed up towards the end zone. Sanders fumbles it, picked up by Kelsey, who also fumbles it, and Miles Sanders gets it back. Okay, that play was nearly a disaster. I mean, in a way it was, because now Jalen Reagor is injured, but that was close. The Eagles fumbled it twice on 2 separate occasions. They would end up punting after stalling on 3rd down. Dallas has it back. There's Prescott up the middle for Ezekiel Elliott, who brings it to the 32-yard line. Zeke has been awfully quiet today. He really has not gotten into this game at all for the most part. 3rd and 10 now from the 32. Dak has gotten sacked a couple times on 3rd down in this ball game. Why not do it again? Brandon Graham brings down the quarterback, and Dallas, who has gotten past midfield on all 4 of their possessions, still has not scored. I don't get it. It does not make any sense. Hurts with the curl route for J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who gets about 12. Isaac Seumalo is hurt on the play for the Eagles. That's not particularly good news. 3rd and 5 now from the 35. Hurts scrambling with it. Tough throw here for Goddard, who will make the grab for a gain of 15. Despite not having any points on the scoreboard, Jalen Hurts is a perfect 8 for 8 in this game. 3rd and 9 now. Hurts will look short for the rookie, Devontae Smith, who makes a nice move. Smith still on his feet, brings it past the 35-yard line, and that will bring us to the 2-minute warning here in the first half. This game is still tied at 0, but the Eagles are marching closer towards this end zone. Hurts is going to be sacked on the play by Keanu Neal. Dallas trying to take away some momentum on this possession, and that'll make it a 3rd and 20 for the Birds. Hurts looking to throw it, scrambling with it, wants to make sure he does not get sacked as he goes deep for Devontae Smith, and it's tipped and incomplete. Nearly intercepted. That was a dangerous throw by Hurts. And now the field goal unit is out. A 50-yard attempt for Jake Elliott. The kick is up. It is good. Finally, points are on the board. It took nearly 2 full quarters for either team to score, but it's the Eagles who strike first with a Jake Elliott field goal. So Dallas has it back here, winding moments of the first half as there's only 55 seconds to go. And the Cowboys, who actually called a timeout after the 2nd down play, are just going to run it. I find that interesting because it's sort of pointless that they used a timeout. They called that timeout as if they were actually going to try to drive down the field, and they didn't do that. So, oh well. Eagles with it back. Hurts down the field for a wide open Devontae Smith, who gets it out of bounds to the 40-yard line. Clock stops with 19 seconds to go, and the Eagles have a legitimate shot of scoring again before halftime. On 1st down, it's a short throw for Kenneth Gainwell, and this ball is out. Dallas picks it up. It's Jalen Smith who recovers the fumble, and the Eagles' offensive momentum is quickly wiped out. A huge play for the Dallas Cowboys defense, but the booth would review it. And as you can see, Kenny Gainwell is clearly down by contact, so that is not going to be ruled a fumble, and that would bring us to the end of the first half. The Eagles will keep the ball, but it didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. A very low-scoring game. The Eagles are currently up top 3-0. Yes, not a lot of points, but both teams have moved it down the field fairly nicely. The other game to watch out for is Washington and the Giants, and Washington is currently up 21-10. Remember, if Washington wins that game, the Eagles cannot win the division, but obviously Philadelphia can still make it in as a wild card, and obviously the goal here for the Eagles is to make the playoffs. No matter how they get in, as long as they get in, it's worth it. So let's go to the second half. The Birds will be starting on offense as they have it backed up at the 26 with a 1st and 20. And Hurts loses it. It's a strip sack. Jordan Lewis jars the ball out. Miles Sanders does pick it up. So the Eagles have had like 3 or 4 separate fumbles in this game. They've recovered all of them. So a few very close calls for the most part for the Eagles when it comes to the fumbles today. 3rd and 11, short throw for Richard Rodgers, who gets about 6. So Dallas gets a stop. Jalen Hurts, though, is 17 for 19. That's pretty wild. 3rd and 4 now for the Cowboys on their opening possession of the third quarter, as it's CeeDee Lamb breaking the tackle from Ojemudia, and he is eventually pounded by Avonte Maddox, but not before bringing it to the 36 for a Dallas Cowboys first down. CeeDee Lamb with his second grab of the game. Very next play, it's a handoff for Zeke, who is stuffed in the backfield by Ryan Kerrigan. 7 carries, 20 yards for Ezekiel Elliott. He really has been a non-factor in this game for the most part. 3rd and 5, it's a screen for Zeke, who gets a few blocks. Elliott with a huge first down to keep the drive going for the Cowboys. That was their offensive line who made that play, and although this offensive line is one of the older units in the NFL, it's also still one of the better units. 3rd and 8, there's Elliott wide open down the field. 10-5, touchdown! And the Cowboys are finally on the board. The first touchdown of the game, the first points for the Dallas Cowboys, and they now all of a sudden have the lead 7-3. Zeke is feeding himself in the end zone, and now the Eagles have it back down for the first time today. On first down, it's going to be an out route for Devontae Smith, who gets 12. Smith has been one of the few offensive players for either team today who's been impressive. 3rd and 6, Hurts trying to get it back to Smith, but his pass is a little bit underthrown. So the Eagles again will have to punt it. Philadelphia still with just 3 points on the scoreboard, but Dallas has only mustered 7. With 1 quarter to go, it's still anybody's game. The Cowboys currently up top 7-3. The Eagles certainly know that they are not out of this game, but their season depends on these final 10 minutes. On 3rd and 10, it's going to be a short pass for Tony Pollard, who does not get the first down. Nice tackle by Rodney McLeod. And the Eagles' defense will force another punt. They get it back on offense. And with about 9 minutes to go, Philadelphia has the chance to take the lead on this possession. 2nd and 7. What a catch by Quez Watkins! An unbelievable play to keep both feet in bounds, but Dallas is going to challenge it. This play was awfully close, and as we look at the replay, I'm trying to look at this through a neutral lens, but I really think he's in. There's one, and the second one, he drags in with his tippy toes. I think he was in. However, the officials would say he was out of bounds, incomplete, and Dallas wins the challenge. So I wanted to look at the replay again, and as I get a closer look, I genuinely think he was in bounds. So an awful call there by the officials, and we know the refs have a history of helping out the Dallas Cowboys. They definitely gave Dallas a bone on that play. Hurts would have to throw it away on 3rd and 7, so what could have been a really good drive was wasted away by the officials. Eagles would punt it, Dallas gets it back. 3rd and 6 from the 47, 6.5 to go. Dak's pass is tipped off one of the helmets of a lineman, incomplete. So the Eagles get another stop, they force another punt, and they have it back. Just over 5 minutes to go. Philadelphia has another chance. Hurts going short for Devontae Smith, continuing his outstanding game as he jukes by DeMarcus Lawrence and brings it to the 31-yard line. Philadelphia is now in field goal range, but I don't think the Eagles want a field goal. The Eagles know that they cannot be conservative. They have to be aggressive and try to finish this game off with a win. On 3rd and 5, Devontae Smith gets another first down, bringing it to the 13-yard line. And the Eagles are inching closer and closer to this end zone. They have a legitimate shot of punching it in and taking the lead back. 1st and 10, 4 minutes to go. Handoff for Miles Sanders. Sanders has blocks, outruns the safety, touchdown Eagles. Miles Sanders with the touchdown run, and Philadelphia finally finds the end zone. They will take the lead with 3:42 left to go. So now the Cowboys have it back on 2nd and 10. It's Amari Cooper to the 44. Although Dallas's offense has not been all that good in this game, we know that the Cowboys' offense is one of the best in football, at least on paper, and they could certainly pull off this comeback. 3rd and 10. Dak under pressure. He is sacked. Akeem Davis Gaither got to the quarterback. So now it's 4th and very long. 4th and 21, and Dallas will elect to go for it. Very gutsy call. This could be the ball game. Prescott scrambling under a ton of pressure, and it's caught by Amari Cooper. Michael Ojemudia outran the route, and the game will stay alive for the Cowboys. 3rd and 5, Prescott for the end zone, tipped and incomplete. So the Eagles do get the stop there when it's all said and done. And here comes the field goal unit. It's Greg Zuerlein on to tie it. The kick, it's close, but it does go in. And this one is now knotted up at 10. Wow, what a strange drive for the Cowboys, but they do manage to put up points. And now the Eagles' offense comes back. Arguably the most important drive in the young career for Jalen Hurts. I know he played in a national championship game in which he got benched. And of course, Alabama won because Philly's very own Devontae Smith caught the game-winning touchdown pass in that game. Well, obviously, Hurts has played well enough today not to get benched, but he does get sacked there for a huge loss of yardage. A couple Cowboys defenders were in the backfield there, including Neville Gallimore, and the Eagles would decide to chew clock. They don't want Dallas to get the ball back, but they are going to throw it down the field for one last play, and it is caught by Smith, who only gets to the 36. If only the Eagles didn't run out the clock. Now, you can't really blame them for trying to run it out because, again, they didn't want Dallas to get the ball back. But that's a potentially wasted opportunity there for the Birds. And that'll do it for 4 quarters. We do not have a winner. Game tied at 10, going into overtime. Of course, as tradition on this channel, tails never fails. Coin lands on tails. Eagles win the toss. And although Philly's offense has been bad today, they will choose to start with the ball, try to drive down the field and win the game. I have not thought about how the playoffs would work if this game ends in a tie, but what I can tell you is, since the Eagles beat Dallas in Week 3, the Eagles would have the head-to-head tiebreaker over Dallas, but I'm really not sure if Philadelphia would get in with a tie, so the Eagles need to not play for the tie, they need to play for the win, and I imagine Dallas is definitely going to do the same. On 2nd and 7, Miles Sanders loses 4, big tackle for Jalen Smith, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 11. Overtimes are 6.5 minutes, keep in mind, as Jalen Hurts will look to throw it. He goes short for Goddard, who gains about 7. Micah Parsons quickly brings him down. So the Dallas Cowboys defense gets another stop. They get it back on offense with an opportunity to win the game. So Aaron Sipos is on for the punt, and it will be a fair catch for Dallas, but there's a flag! Michael Ojemudia running into the returner, an automatic 15 yards for Dallas. But, as we see the replay, Ojemudia never touched him. So, yes, Michael Ojemudia did get a little bit too close for comfort, but he never touched Pollard. So, again, the officials are throwing Dallas a bone, and the Eagles have gotten screwed on multiple calls down the stretch by the refs. You just don't know what to say there. Now, the Eagles do start the drive with a sack. Ziggy Ansah with his first sack as an Eagle. Ansah was signed before the Week 17 game against Washington, so this is his second game with the Birds. And now it is a 3rd down and 21 for Dallas. They completed a 4th and 21 earlier in the game. Dak under pressure. He might get sacked again. He does not, but the pass is incomplete. So the Eagles get the stop. So both defenses start overtime, stopping the opposing offense. And now the Eagles have it back. 3rd and 12. Hurts going to go deep downfield for Goddard. Great pass, but it's broken up by Lewis. Goddard unable to make the grab, and now Dallas gets it with plus field position. Can they finish it off on this drive and punch their ticket to the playoffs? That pass is nearly intercepted. Michael Ojemudia had it right in his hands. What a roller coaster ending to this game for Michael Ojemudia, getting burned on 4th down earlier, the roughing the returner penalty, and now that. 2nd and 10, another sack for the Eagles. Javon Hargrave with his second. Philadelphia's pass rush, even without Fletcher Cox today, has been top-notch. So now it is 3rd and 18 for the Cowboys. Prescott under a lot of pressure. Sweat cannot bring him down. Neither does Graham. Prescott connects with Jarwin for the first down, and Dallas is at field goal range. The Eagles had multiple defenders in the backfield to get the sack, but they couldn't do it. A huge first down conversion for the Dallas Cowboys, and they have a shot to walk this game off. Tony Pollard with the first down. The Eagles are going to call their first timeout, and Dallas is going to send the field goal unit out right now. The Eagles cannot use their second timeout to ice the kicker since they just called it. So here is Greg Zuerlein from 36 yards out, and the win, it's good. And the Eagles season, unfortunately, will come to a close. What a game, what a finish. But the Dallas Cowboys are going back to the playoffs for the first time in 3 years. And the Philadelphia Eagles, unfortunately, are eliminated from postseason contention. That was a tough loss. I think that's certainly putting it lightly. And this is a game that I think we deserve to win. I think we played better than Dallas, but I think we wasted a few opportunities. And, of course, multiple calls by the officials. The Quez Watkins catch in the 4th quarter and the Michael Ojemudia personal foul in overtime. I think those were both really bad calls by the officials. Typical for the Dallas Cowboys to be getting all the calls, and that was the case today, and I think that's one of the main reasons why we lost. I don't only want to blame the officials. I will say our offense was not great. We only scored 10 points, and with how little offense there was, I'm surprised that there were no turnovers, although the Eagles fumbled it like 3 times. Dak Prescott played fairly well, but he also got sacked 7 times. Jalen Hurts was pretty efficient, 26 for 35, 270 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Neither team really ran the ball all that well. Miles Sanders was the leading rusher in yards. He also had a touchdown as well. Devontae Smith was outstanding, 8 catches, 152 yards. Blake Jarwin, Amari Cooper, and Ezekiel Elliott were the standouts for Dallas in the receiving game. And if it was not already clear, the Eagles need help at wide receiver. Devontae Smith is great, but he can't do it alone. Defensively, our pass rush was phenomenal. We had 7 sacks, 2 for Hargrave, 1 for Ansel, 1 for Graham, 1 for Wilson, 1 for Davis Gaither, and 1 for Wallace. Dallas ended up with 3 QB sacks in this game. So definitely an unfortunate loss. And again, I think that's a game that we really could have and probably should have won. And as you can see in the locker room, Jason Kelce is blaming us. What's this about? We only scored 10 points. Now, yes, maybe we shouldn't have been cocky at the press conference, and now all of our players are pissed. Everyone's morale has skyrocketed down. Fletcher Cox was a 99 with morale. Now he's only a 93. Jalen Hurts, -4 morale. He's a 69. Now, the morale losses won't necessarily affect us because we're not in the playoffs, but still, going into the offseason, I'm a little bit worried. I don't know how much the players really like us. So here's the playoff picture. Dallas ends up winning the division. Washington does get in as a wild card. As we take a look at the NFC seedings, the Falcons at 9-8 missed out on the playoffs, which is definitely interesting. So Atlanta kind of gets screwed by tiebreakers. Had we beaten Dallas, Atlanta could have possibly jumped us maybe because they beat us, right? Wouldn't that be how it works? So on the bright side, even though we lost, we do have the top 3 pick from the Miami Dolphins, which is great. Our own pick is going to be 16th overall. We also own the first pick in the 2nd round from the Colts. So if nothing else, this team has an army of draft picks going into the NFL draft, which should be a lot of fun. So that's going to conclude today's episode. I know it's not the ending of a regular season that we were hoping for, but this offseason is going to be a lot of fun. Next episode, we're going to do the season recap. We're going to go over stats, awards, the playoffs. The episode after that will be an episode dedicated to like the NFL draft. Now, it's not going to be the draft itself, but it's going to be like a draft preview. We're going to go over the Senior Bowl. We're going to talk about players whose stocks have gone up, stocks have gone down. And then after that, we'll do the actual offseason with free agency and the draft. So there's a lot of good content here at the Eagles franchise coming up. I hope you guys are excited. Make sure to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Peace out.